What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be going over my top 5 of 2024 so far. Remember, this is just my list, so please feel free to drop yours in the comments below. Of course, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and if you're over on Instagram, check it out over there as well. But without further ado, let's check it out. Coming up first at number 5, I have Cable. This is from the Zabu wave, a little bit more recent, and when going through this, I really tried to consider eliminating things like recency bias. I think it's inevitable. Sometimes you just, a figure comes out, you just kind of fall in love with it, right? And then maybe that sort of dwindles down the way. This, however, was certainly an anticipated figure, not only for myself, but I think a lot of Marvel Legends collectors. So I do see this one being sort of on these mid-year lists for sure. People have been waiting for, whether you're into collecting like for the comics, just the Marvel Legends figures, or if you're collecting like gaming type figures, right? This sort of fit into a few niche areas like that. So for like the Marvel versus Capcom people, you know, you had like the Jada toys, Mega Man come out. We've got a lot of Capcom like Street Fighter figures coming out, so there's a lot going on in that sort of arena at the moment. So this kind of fit into a few areas, and I think would make a few lists, not only for Marvel Legends but also action figures in general for the year of 2024. It's a figure they just did a really nice job on. I mean, you can see just a really nicely detailed, great face sculpt. You've got the protruding eye effect, which is so much better than when they just kind of paint it on. So love that they went that route. You've got the 5 o'clock shadow going on there. Just those minor details that make a lot of difference. The weapons were a little, I think, subpar maybe for me. You know, I would have liked to have seen some bigger guns with Cable. In my display, full disclosure, I'm not displaying him with the weapons that he came with. So he came with that gun and this gun. They're okay. They're nice updates to those that already existed, sort of those Nerf gun style weapons, right? But that's okay. They look decent. Great looking sculpt on the arm there. The detail looks really nice. You've got that belt design that I really think adds a good level of displayability to it, because it allows you to get more range of motion without having the sort of blue just pop out of nowhere on this. So maybe not for everybody, but I do like how that came out in the design. Would have loved to have seen some extra details on the sort of cargo pouches, but all in all, this just makes a nice figure and certainly a good way to kick off a top 5 for a mid-year countdown. Coming in at number 4, another slightly more recent release is the She-Hulk. So this is our most recent She-Hulk in the Marvel Legends line. A really beautiful looking figure. She's got this great green color, super tall. You know, they gave us a new body mold for this figure, one that hopefully we can see some other characters like Titania on, or, you know, there's a few characters that we could really get from this buck. So good that they did that. I think for me personally, I thought they might just go with the Power Princess buck and call it a day. So it was nice to see this come out. She just really stands out on the shelf and is one that it was definitely a day one grab for me out of the wave for this Iron Man retro carded wave. A few figures in there that I liked what they did. So this obviously for me is the standout in that particular wave. You just get some really great detail in that face sculpt. It's just a really nice looking face. They've got some green that has a sort of shimmer to it with the lips and in the eyes. So that adds so much pop to it. You get that great hair. Just looks really nice with that dark wash over the green. It just adds to the depth of the figure, lends to great displayability. She looks excellent on the shelf, so I'm certainly glad that they went this route. Elbow and knee thing is certainly weird. It's an issue that we've had with several figures who they just can't seem to match that. I think in person it doesn't come off as bad as it does on camera. I mean, I've watched a bunch of reviews on this. I did a review on this. I have it in hand, right? On camera, those really do stick out, but in person they don't. It's a very weird thing. Um, so that kind of is like the lone detractor on this figure. We also got this cool accessory. I mean, it's random, but it is something new. So love that they included that on this figure. So that takes She-Hulk in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Power Princess, taking us back to the beginning of the year, coming out of the Void Build-A-Figure wave. Anticipated figure for sure. Rounding out that Squadron Supreme team was so nice, and to be able to do it in a relatively short amount of time was not something that I hated. So I do appreciate that. Beautiful looking figure. She's just got great stature. Really grabs the essence of the character. A nice new buck for her as well. So good to see that in the line. They really kicked it off nice with that first wave of the year, and have continued to really carry the torch throughout 2024 so far. Now, some might say this is the best Wonder Woman that McFarlane never did, and they're not wrong. But for our Marvel version, Power Princess, really well executed figure. Great weapon here. You got the sword and shield. They just look really nice. You don't get the ab crunch, so that's like a small issue for some people. I don't think it takes away too much from the display ability. It would be nice to have that ab crunch, though, because you could get her into a slightly better pose. But face sculpt looks great. Hair looks great. The design of the figure is all around excellent, and I'm really looking forward to what other characters come out of this buck down the line. It's just a really nice looking figure. At number 2, I've got Victor Creed, Sabretooth himself, stacked in that 2-pack with another cowboy hatted Wolverine. That's, some people's point of contention for this pack. I collect a lot of Wolverine stuff, so it was a win-win for me. Certainly glad to upgrade the Sabretooth from I actually had the Diamond Select Sabretooth in my main display, not the Apocalypse Wave version. I just liked how big that Select version of Sabretooth was. I was so glad that we got a Legends version that competes very well with that, and in several ways is so much better because it does have more articulation. It is an overall better figure in my opinion. Would have loved to have seen the knees updated to pinless, but not a snob in that area. Just if we're getting new updated versions, it would be nice just to have the full gamut of those new updates, right? Still a great looking figure. Pins don't detract, they match, so I'm happy with that. Love the build on this figure. A nice brooding, towering version of Sabretooth. Fits very well in with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in the display. So that is certainly why it is deserving of the top 2 spot for this top 5 countdown of 2024 figures so far. 2024 has been a great year for face sculpts in the Marvel Legends line. I just think that they continue to kill it with these figures. Everyone seemingly a little bit better than the last. So it's been a really great year for releases. A lot of figures, characters that we've had before, right? So there is some argument to be made that maybe we're not getting enough new characters in the line. And I think that's a valid argument every year. The counter to that is there are always new collectors coming in, and they need to get a good start in this hobby to keep it going, right? So no harm, no foul as far as I'm concerned. I certainly appreciate when a good update comes along, and having the Select version and the Apocalypse version, I do think that this was a great call and getting updated version of Sabretooth here, and he has replaced all the other versions in the display for me. All right, before we get to the top spot, recap the 4 that have made the list so far. So, of course, Cable starting it off at the number 5 spot, moving into She-Hulk, followed by Power Princess, and then rounding it out with Sabretooth in the number 2 spot. I'd love to hear what your top five so far are for 2024. Personally, it's been a really good year as far as Marvel Legends releases are concerned. They've put out a lot of really quality stuff and really sort of up the game. There's a lot, trust me, there's a lot more room for improvement in the line, but compared to last year, I think we are far and away from the 2023 year that was Marvel Legends, right? Windows are back, figures are better, we're getting a lot more quality. Production is down in the numbers, so you're seeing a lot more sell out, which is probably, causing a lot more demand on the consumer, which, I mean, that's just smart business, and that is what it is. I'm not one that kind of likes to play the waiting game anyway. I'll just buy what I like and go from there, right? It's collecting toys, and that's all it is. It's nothing more than that. Love to hear your thoughts. Of course, you can always find me on Instagram, X, or on Whatnot if you want to check that stuff out. I'd certainly appreciate the subscribe, though, so don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. But let's get into the number one spot. Without further ado, the number one figure for me in Marvel Legends so far in 2024 is none other than Angel. Without a doubt, this was a figure that was so long overdue for a re-release. In a year where we're getting a lot of re-releases or updates to characters that we've already had, this was the one that was so deserving. That Toy Biz Angel had served its time and purpose, and it was not looking good. All right. This is a great looking figure. It just came out so well, executed so nicely. You've got this great set of wings that just expand or retract, gives you plenty of displayability, posability. It just looks good. All right. I mean, in the display with my X-Men, this guy just stands out. I am so looking forward to the blue suited version. I know it's going to be a straight up repaint, right? We all know that, but it's going to be good to get, and good to see maybe an updated Archangel at some point based on this, right? An excellent looking figure, really captures the full essence of Angel, and one that was so long overdue for a re-release, or an update, because this was a figure that absolutely needed that update. Folks, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this top five, what you think your top five so far are for 2024. There's a lot still to come out. There's a lot that has come out. Some stuff that didn't make the list. I didn't do any honorable mentions. I think, we still have half a year to go, and anything that may have been an honorable mention will likely be on the end of year top 24. It's going to be a top 24 of 2024 this year, so certainly stay tuned. Again, appreciate you checking out the video. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.
I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.